Today I found out that my dad still has his wisdom teeth in. Now, I'm trying to get mine out. I'm currently scheduled to get mine removed in a week, next Monday. And he was telling me about how he still has his and he just deals with the pain. And yes, it hurts like every couple months, but then it's just off. It's on and off again. And I was thinking, I'm like, why didn't you ever get them removed? And his explanation to the doctor when they were talking about it was just he was during baseball season he couldn't take the time. He didn't have time for it. He didn't have time to get him removed or whatever. And I was sitting there thinking, I don't want to deal with this pain, even if it is on and off again. I don't want to deal with it for the rest of my life because at this point, like if my dad were to get him removed, it would be kind of be like, what's the point? It's if only lived half his damn life. Might as well just thug it out. But I'm at a point where my teeth like it hurts to a degree in which I want them gone. I'm biting my gums. They're like semi-emerged, so I'm still biting my gums, right? And I frankly don't want to deal with that anymore. Now, I'm gonna relate this into a kind of just a generalization and more. I just want to talk about masculinity again, and I guess like the conception of like just dealing with it. I know I talked about it the other day when I did my first masculinity video, but I kind of want to delve more into that because I frankly feel like dealing with certain issues silently, who cares? You know, there's so many like aspects of life that are either you present to the world or you hold internally, right? And I feel like if this is something that I can present to the world, I would maybe like love to display my masculine traits and the fact that I can deal with pain, right? Whatever. But this is something purely personal. This is my this is my mouth. No one can like no one knows my mouth would be in pain unless I tell someone. This isn't like a scar on my face or like my arm is bandaged. Like this isn't apparent. This isn't something someone can just look at me and go, "Wait, that guy's a badass. He's dealing with this pain." This just fucking hurts. And I feel like suffering in silence, not only verbal silence, but visual silence, in the sense that no one can tell I'm even in pain. Who fucking cares? I don't want to. I was. I don't want to like try and put myself through more suffering just so I can appear more manly. I've talked about this with my friend about how there are certain aspects of being a man, and one of them is being strong and being resilient. And I feel like that really only applies to concepts that are very much external, very much social. Like, if, let's say, someone is being childish and antagonizing me, I'll use my example from the other day when this guy was trying to road rage me and got in my face and try to fight me. There are moments in life where I could exude my masculinity on him and puff my chest and fucking try and fight him, right? Or I could use more of an intelligent approach and de-escalate the situation and then go about my day. Now, both of those exude levels of masculinity, but one is an external like visual, like you can see it and go, that guy is a man, that guy's standing his ground, that guy is strong physically, right? But what I chose was the avenue of more of an internal intellectual kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to use my brain to get out of the situation and not my brawn. Both of those are still like aspects of masculinity. One of them is physical strength, and one of them is like strategic, like I guess strategy, like mental fortitude to not be like rage baited. I didn't get aggravated with the guy. I didn't allow my emotions to overtake me and just go fucking ball my fist and start fighting him. There's levels and there's tiers of masculinity, and people really only want to see the physical side, the side that like you look at a guy and you go, that guy's a man. No one is going to look at a man making intelligent decisions like that, where I spared both of us, because I probably would have been hit, but he would have been hit harder. Let's be real. I spared both of us the scenario of us getting hit because I was more masculine than him in the sense that I was making the decisions. I decided that we didn't fight because I de escalated the situation. I decided that he got to go home to his kids. You know what I mean? These are like, there's different ways to be a man. There's different ways to exude your masculinity other than just facing danger with your chest out, ready to just stand guard. There's different ways to be a man other than just taking the pain and suffering through it. There's ways to go around it. There's ways to like, dampen the blow. You don't need to just be a man and suck it up. You can outthink these situations. I feel like a lot of people dismiss the intellectual part of being a man because they only see I'm big strong man, I'm big, I strong, I punch. I see a lot of videos on the internet, especially ones targeted towards younger kids, where, I mean, just take Andrew Tate for example. Andrew Tate's not like smart, right? You wouldn't categorize him as a smart person. Sure, he has like, business ventures, right? Of sex trafficking, I guess. I don't keep up with him, but his whole ideology is, I'm big, strong, I will fight you, I'm a man. And that's not what being a man is. Sure, that's an aspect of it. But it's like a coin. There's two sides to a coin. Honestly, being a man is it's like a die, multi-sided die, maybe like a 20-sided die. And you're only looking at that one aspect of, I'm big and strong, I can beat you in a fight, henceforth I'm correct. Like, there's so many different aspects of being a man other than just that. And I value the fact that my brain is stronger than my muscles, because at the end of the day, not a lot of people can say that. um what I'm really trying to get at here, I'm going to wrap this back to the wisdom teeth. This this isn't something where, if I just thug out the pain and just deal with it, that's not a smart move. Not only is my mouth going to constantly shift and just hurt, and I'll never have any enjoyment eating anymore, right? But it'll like, what's the point? What do I gain out of that? Saving a couple bucks? I don't care. Like, I feel like spending the money is worth not having to deal with the pain anymore. You know, there isn't there isn't like an award you get for keeping your wisdom teeth. Oh, cool, bro. Your mouth hurts all the time. Awesome. You're the greatest among us. Among us. There isn't like, you don't get a medal. There isn't a reward for being strong and resilient towards this kind of pain. The moral of this, guys, is make smart decisions. Make decisions that would benefit you for the future, regardless of if it makes you like emasculated or not. At the end of the day, you are what defines who you are. And if you don't define by the social definition of the word man, who gives a fuck? A lot of these people don't know what that word even means either. You know what I mean? Be yourself. If you don't want to deal with mouth pain anymore, who gives a fuck? You're not any less of a man because you don't want to suffer in silence. You're actually more of a man because you're taking charge, you're taking the steps necessary to better your own life. And frankly, that's what being a man is all about. Thank you.